House Minority Leader John Boehner and Minority Whip Eric Cantor have sent a letter to the Chief of Staff of the White House, Rahm Emanuel. Part of the letter reads this, quote, "If the starting point for this meeting is the job-killing bills the American people have already soundly rejected, Republicans would rightly be reluctant to participate." Congressman Cantor is in Richmond, Virginia, and joins us this morning. Congressman, thanks for your time.
Jane, good morning.
I take it that letter means it's not an automatic yes that you will show up. We just heard in the last couple of minutes Minority Leader Boehner say that this current health care bill must be scrapped. Is that your condition for this meeting, that there must be a promise to start over?
Well, Jane, first of all, we're going to show up because we want to continue to try and reflect what the American people are asking for. And really, right now, it's up to the President and Speaker Pelosi to start listening to the American people. If they don't, there's not much to talk about. As the leader suggested prior, the American people have resoundingly rejected the Democrats' health care bill. We've got to find a better way.
So you will show up to this meeting regardless of what's on the agenda or how the agenda is formed?
Well, we have stood ready for the past year to work alongside with this President and Speaker Pelosi and the Democrats in Congress. And, you know, now, once again, there is talk of bipartisanship. But what we need to really focus on, if we're going to get anything done, is try and address what people are worried about. It's the increased cost of health care. We can accomplish bringing down costs through some of the ideas that we have put on the table that, in fact, I think that most Democrats agree with as well. But it is first and foremost the fact that this President and Speaker Pelosi are still trying to jam through this bill that the American people don't like.
You know, you and many others have called for transparency on this issue, a la these televised meetings that looks like we're going to be seeing. There is a legitimate question, though. Can anything actually be done when it's so out in the open? These deals historically in this country have been done, so much of them behind closed doors.
Listen, Jane, we need more ventilation of this discussion because there has been no discussion that has taken place in the light of day. It's all been behind closed doors in smoke-filled rooms. We don't need that anymore. The American people want to know what's going on, especially when you're talking about health care. Health care affects everyone. So I'm hopeful that this meeting will result in the American people feeling that the President and the Speaker are starting to listen, because thus far they've not.
You know, the American people probably, if you ask them right now, they'd rather hear you and I discussing what their health care is going to look like as opposed to discussing when and where and how you and the Democrats are going to be sitting down doing this. Do you understand their frustration in even getting to the point of talking?
Absolutely. I mean, people are rightfully upset because the kind of change that was promised back a year or so ago in the election of this president has not materialized. We see daily now the public polling indicate that Americans are frustrated with Washington, and I don't blame them. Again, the process is so broken that we do need to get it back on track and start getting the work done and start making sure that the federal government is working for the people again rather than the other way around. I
guess the tone, I just read a portion of that letter that you sent to Rahm Emanuel, but the tone of it wasn't particularly, I guess, in the spirit of bipartisanship. That's a tough letter. Is that going to affect your starting point?
Well, you know, it is in the interest of the minority in the Congress to reach out, and we have continued to reach out. But what we want to say is this: we're not interested in a dog and pony show to trumpet failed bills that, in fact, the Democrats can't even pass right now without any Republican support. We're not interested in that because the American people aren't either. And where we feel we need to go is to tell the President, look, we are ready to work on things that we can agree on. Set aside this notion we need government taking over our health care. Set aside this notion that Washington knows best about the kind of choices that families are afforded in health care, and we can start to work together to bring down health care costs.
But again, quickly, you're showing up to this televised thing, right?
Absolutely. Republicans have always said we stand ready and willing to work with this president. Unfortunately, the Speaker has never followed suit on any of the bipartisanship suggestions made by the president.
We'll see if we're turning a corner here. Minority Whip Eric Cantor. Congressman, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Jane.